The kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now Ward throwing to start the drive. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
So the Steelers now in great shape to begin their initial possession. They'll be led out by the former Buckeye, the young rookie QB from Ohio State.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
2nd and 14. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Titans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off play action. Ward. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Ward. His throw incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity. Just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Off the play fake. Ward. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
And Brandon, how many times have we talked with these rookies out there, and we finally hear from them that the game slowed down and they're able to handle things? Not so far for this rookie, because right now, back-to-back drives, they picked him off. Not college football anymore. He's got to find a way to handle what these defenses throw at him.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Back to throw. Howard. Open man. There's Darnell Washington. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Looking to throw. Howard got his man. It's Warren. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Howard. The throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. 4th down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
He's been fortunate in one sense. I mean, he's thrown the 2 interceptions. That's not fortunate. The good news is haven't led to points on either one of those picks. So a fresh start here, 1st and 10. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, Pollard. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
2nd and 6. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Alex Highsmith with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
And every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Howard from the gun on third down. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Moore. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about the show put out by these two defenses in this first half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them given an inch, and that's good coverage once again there to force another 4th down.
So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. This is taken at the 23. That'll be a 47-yard punt officially, 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And here's Freiermuth again. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd down and 3. Back to throw. Howard. That's into the hands of Woods. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Off play action. Howard. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Warren. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space, A loss results there.
Howard now from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. 4th down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And really, they're pretty fortunate right now to only be down 3-0 following 2 turnovers. They've got it now 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Moore, a short throw taken in by Okonkwo. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best.
On the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Flush to his right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
From the 29, here's the 2nd down and 4. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second and 9 now. A short one there to Freiermuth. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Warren, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Running left, it's Warren. And he'll be taken down at the 34. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howard. That's going to be caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. DK Metcalf, 34 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is, what, 3-to-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
To throw is Ward. Throwing to start the drive. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. In motion goes the tight end. Over the middle, he has Okonkwo. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, there's no disputing. He's made some poor throws in this first half, but this was a good one. And you can bet this is an offense that isn't going to pull back. They believe in what he can do. So all you can do is look forward, and they pick up a first down.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Ward. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Howard got his man complete over the middle. It's Taylor. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Slant route, and he's got Freiermuth. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
2nd down and 4. Here's Warren. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Back to throw. Howard. Escaping the pressure right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. That one was tipped in the air and became almost a 50-50 ball. No one came up with it, so it turned into an incompletion. But remember, on the previous drive, he threw an interception. I think that one almost caused well, not almost. I think that one caused a mental flashback for everyone. Threw the pick before. Could this turn into a second one? And how would that alter the game for him? Well, after incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
The offense on third down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off play action. Ward. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 55 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. They run the counter. Warren. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On first down, it's Warren. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run on first down. Warren. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll make it third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Howard working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. Warren is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Robert Woods from 4 yards out. And the Steelers continue to pull away here in this first half. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Robert Woods touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Ward. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for the Titans. 47 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available and incompletion as a result.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. In motion comes the tight end left. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Back to throw again. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming fourth down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Sly able to put this one through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Cody Barton there to bring him down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The big story thus far has really been the snow. It's made footing treacherous, and if the forecast holds, it's only going to get worse. But I can tell you as a fan, these are the games you love to watch.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. To throw is Howard. Throwing to start the drive. Pass incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
3rd down and 6. Looking to throw. Howard. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that is exactly what you needed defensively. It's a long road back from here, but that's a good start to the second half as they force a punting situation and a fourth down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Titans offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. In motion right is Ridley. Throwing to start the drive. Ward. And that's going to be incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Ward. Swinging this out for Pollard. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Ward now from the gun on 3rd down. Buying time to his left. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. From the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Ward. Middle of the field to Jefferson. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Ward. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Chigakonkwo, 27 yards. And the Titans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their lead down from 21-14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 111 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
On first down, it's Warren, and he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Up the middle they go. Warren. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. Operating from the gun. Howard. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense set to go again. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Ward. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They go play action here on first down. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Got his man, Okonkwo. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Steelers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll try the left side. It's Warren, and he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Ward. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the bootleg. Ward. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the 1st before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Back to throw. Ward. That's dumped off to Pollard. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Patrick Queen coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. The Steelers offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off play action. Howard. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Titans offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Throw right side, caught by Ridley. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Out of the gun, a give to Pollard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That'll be complete to Okonkwo. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Two yards to go, 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Ward. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand A field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Back to throw now on first down. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. This duo locked in, 14 yards there. And a first down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Here's Ward off the bootleg. And he's got his man in stride, complete. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. Operating from the gun. Ward. And it's caught. And the Titans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Calvin Ridley from 8 yards out. And the Titans have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Now a 2nd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down. Looking to throw. Howard. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Credit the sack there to Arden Key. But you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your third-grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
The offense on third down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt, and now a chance to tie the game on this possession. Ward off the play fake. Throw to the right, caught by Okakwo. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
That's complete. It's Josh Wiley. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Finding Lockett for the catch here on the out route. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. A give to Pollard running left. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, Definitely was a great time to dial one up.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Ward. He'll complete this one to Okonkwo. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd down, goal to go. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, he has Okonkwo.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. They kept it in the air on 4th, Charles. They ran on 1st and 2nd down, tried it through the air on 3rd and 4th. Couldn't come away with anything on 4th and goal.
And remember, in these situations, the field is really condensed. Everything is squeezed tight. So as a defender, you can actually take more chances here because they won't have as much time to throw the football, and a receiver really can't run past you. If they do, they run out the back of the end zone. Nice job by the D, shutting them down.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, You think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.